Yeah, so once again, we got another Iron Smoke Distillery offering.
We're on an Iron Smoke roll.
Yeah, I'm fucking all about it. Ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Over here, to your right, is Mr. W2. How do you do, sir?
You had to think about that for a minute.
I do.
I'm doing good.
Yeah, because when I'm on stage, like I'm always like, fucking look over here to your left, look over here to your right. Like I gotta, flip it around. Like over here to my left, I'm pointing right, like to you. I'm like over here to my right, and I'm pointing at Jeff. It's clearly on my left, or I don't know. It's, I can usually blame that on whiskey. But before we get too far off the rails, thank you for watching or listening to the Savor the Burn podcast. Be sure to follow, hit like, leave us a comment, share it with people, like-minded whiskey enthusiasts, just like us, just like you, and let's build this tribe a little bit. Let's
do it.
Let's do what we can do to share the good news of whiskey and bourbons and scotch and cocktails and rocktails. Let's have a good time with it.
Yeah.
Tonight we're gonna have a good time with something that I've been looking forward to: Rattlesnake Rosie's pumpkin pie spice whiskey. It's not pumpkin pie spice. It's just pumpkin pie whiskey. And so it's flavored like
just read what's on the bottle. That's okay.
Right, just read it verbatim, you big dummy. Don't try to get fancy with it. Don't try to jazz it up, dirt. Yeah, this is coming in 35% alcohol, right at 70 proof.
Yeah.
So it's not the strongest thing. It's not even tavern strength. But I have expectations. I'm really looking forward to trying this. What all can you tell us about Rattlesnake Rosie, or what can you tell us about Iron Smoke Distillery?
Yeah, so this is from Iron Smoke. They're out of upstate New York. This is part of their Rattlesnake Rosie line. Mm-hmm. They've got their apple pie whiskey. They've got a maple bacon flavored whiskey. Mm-hmm. And then last summer, I found on their website, they have a chocolate peanut butter pie whiskey. It's a bourbon cream. So that one's a cream.
Mm-hmm. And that was so good.
That was amazing.
Smooth as you would expect a bourbon cream to be.
Yeah.
Very flavorful.
Lots of peanut butter and chocolate, and yeah, so good. This is one of their limited fall only releases. They put that out between like August and November while supplies last, type thing. But it says here that Rattlesnake Rosie's pumpkin pie whiskey. Our pumpkin pie whiskey is the ultimate fall experience. It's not fall. But we're just now getting around to it. So.
I love fall. Fall is my favorite season of the year.
And honestly, I can eat pumpkin pie year round.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
So here we are. The ultimate fall experience featuring a blend of natural pumpkin with hints of cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, and vanilla. Slip on a sweater, or in our case, t-shirt.
Yep.
Jump into a leaf pile and autumn up your old-fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
Try it with coffee, in a seasonal cocktail, or baked right into grandma's pumpkin pie. That's not a bad idea.
Bad idea at all.
Might have to try that.
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin pie with a little whiskey.
Whiskey in it.
So I have no flavor notes, no tasting notes on this at all. Mm-hmm. But this is a no age statement, 70 proof flavored corn whiskey. So this is their standard corn whiskey. Corn-based whiskey.
Yeah.
I think because of the flavorings that they're putting it in there, making this the pumpkin pie, it's no longer their bourbon.
Definitely not.
But I feel like it probably starts as their bourbon, which is going to be a corn-based.
Or a blend.
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, I'm super excited to get into this. And like you said, I've got expectations on this.
I really hope it's not that chemical pumpkin taste, But I don't think the good people, especially Tommy Burnett, I don't think that he would allow a product to roll off of his shelves that tasted bad.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree.
He's great at his content. We've had several of his products now, the Iron Smoke products by now, and it's always top notch. It's always top notch. But here on the back, it says no artificial coloring or additives. So, to me, that makes me think that there's no way in hell this is going to be a chemically pumpkin kind of flavor.
They're using real ingredients.
It also says here on the back, it says goodness with a bite. Rattlesnake Rosie's original and scarily delicious pumpkin pie recipe. Our very own American handcrafted corn whiskey with natural pumpkin pie flavoring and sugars added. I mean, it sounds like a simple mash bill, a simple recipe.
You know, I remember talking about the casket strength bourbon, the labeling and all that. And one of the things I love about the labeling of those is it just has a real Old West feel to it.
It does.
I feel like the Rattlesnake Rosie's bottles and labels have more of a sideshow circus kind of a feel to it.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I could kind of see
and with
that.
the name, I think that's fitting, you know, Rattlesnake Rosie.
She's got her witch hat. She's got a pumpkin behind her.
She sounds like she's part of the sideshow.
Rosie. I don't know, man. Who was that chick with the the gangs of New York? The one that like sharpened her teeth. I think we've talked about her before. Please hold.
Oh, I hadn't even noticed that before. The front of the bottle has a little bit of an embossing on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Hellcat Maggie.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So, uh-oh. Is it stuck? What the fuck? Here we go. I'm getting
Is it moving?
Oh.
Muscles.
Yep. No, it's the sugars on here. That was. Ooh, it smells so good. Oh,
Oh my god.
That smells so good.
Put your nose on that. Holy. Yes.
We are in for a treat tonight, y'all. So
go ahead and just pour a little extra.
Yeah, I don't know when this is gonna air. I don't know when we're gonna post these videos, but if it's anywhere near, just look at it. Yeah, it might be a little cloudy, but
dude, it looks like pumpkin pie.
It's for good reason. Pumpkin pie in a glass.
I haven't even pulled up the nose yet, and I smell all possible pumpkin pie.
Yeah. It's like a fall festival in here.
I mean, I smell.
It's like the graham cracker crust.
I was gonna say I smell a buttery crust. I smell the pumpkin, the vanilla, the cinnamon.
Wow!
Holy smokes!
Yeah, that smells amazing. So if it's anywhere near August right now, hop over to Iron Smoke to their website and order a fucking bottle of this. If you're a fan of pumpkin, anything. I'm a slut for pumpkin pie.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Get out of town. Man.
I'm buying another bottle.
Good.
We just opened this. Had a first sip of a pour. There's a 0% chance I'm not getting another bottle. And I know you're going to hop on there and get yourself a bottle immediately.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So you're wowed.
I am wowed.
What part of it wowed you?
It's just
nose, palate, or finish?
Nose and palate.
Nose and palate wowed you, huh?
The finish isn't bad at all. I mean, it's a great pie finish. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the nose just overloads you with all of those pumpkin pie senses. But the palate just grand slams it on home. Yeah. I mean, it's
wild. It's wild how like you can pick up on the baking
and it's not
spices.
It's not artificial. It's
not.
It tastes like legit.
It even tastes like whiskey.
Yeah, and you can taste the whiskey in it.
Like you put an orange slice in here, one of your clear cubed ice cubes or whatever. I mean, this is pretty much an old fashioned. Like maybe hit it with some bitters, maybe. Yeah, you kind of have to hit it with some bitters. Throw an orange slice in there, dude. That's
walnut bitters.
Walnut bitters. Yeah, this nipple just got hard. You can't see it because it's covered in 4 different layers of clothing and a microphone. But I can tell.
But you can taste a buttery crust. You can
on the finish, definitely. Yeah,
you can
that's
taste.
wild.
You can taste the pumpkin. You can taste the allspice, the nutmeg, the clove.
Mm-hmm.
Holy.
Yeah. This is good. If you like pumpkin spice, pumpkin anything, your pumpkin spice lattes.
You know what? Also, it reminds me of. Do you know those?
So good.
Do you know those spice cookies that you make around the Christmas time?
Yeah. Ginger.
Yes.
Ginger
snaps.
Yeah.
This reminds me of ginger snaps.
Yeah. Look at us talking about making cookies around Christmas. Yeah. This is ginger snaps. This is pumpkin. But it's like a ginger snap crust.
So I was excited already that we're going to be turning this into a cocktail.
Oh yeah.
Here before too long.
Yeah.
I am way more excited now because the cocktail recipe that I found, I savored the burned it.
Okay. Good.
I turned it into our own because the recipe that I found that I fell in love with called for actual pumpkin puree.
Okay.
So, get a can of pumpkin.
Yep.
Not a lot, but a little bit in there. But I knew that we had a pumpkin pie whiskey, and I thought, man, we should not need any pumpkin puree. We should just be able to just use the pumpkin whiskey.
Yeah. Because
the recipe that I had found, you just called for a whiskey or a bourbon.
Okay.
We've got the pie already in our whiskey, so...
Yeah. Yeah, so you talked about here on the bottle. I mean, she looks like kind of a sideshow kind of thing. It almost looks like like Michael's, the craft store and or whatever. Like around Halloween time,
yes,
they'll have decorations and stuff that kind of look like this label.
Poison, bat wing.
Yeah, and you'll have your black cats and moons and like the 3 moon, phased moons, the whole witchcrafty thing, and. I mean, this embodies everything that they've got going on, but with whiskey.
In kind of a turn of the century, 1900s, kind of a feel to it.
Like late 1800s, early 1900s. Like you might actually fall for a snake oil salesman kind of thing.
Yep.
It's got a lot going for it. So I dig the bottle presentation.
There's no snake oil here. It
has a similar topper. It's also composite cork. I like how the bottle itself is like the dark brown medicine type bottle.
It's a shorter bottle though.
It is shorter.
So I assume that it's a little bit wider. It actually
looks like an old school medicine bottle.
It does. Yep.
But I like the labeling. It's not much of a punt. Not that we really care about the punt that much, but it's fun to look at. It's going to look cool on your shelf. It's going to look even better. Like if you do what are those parties where everybody brings a bottle share?
Bottle share, yeah.
Bottle share party?
Yeah.
It'll look great in that little collection of bottles. I can almost guarantee you that all the other pumpkin spice latte sluts are going to go right for this, and you're going to go home with an empty bottle. But don't be sad, because every year, hopefully, Iron Smoke Distillery is going to have more of this ready to sell you.
Man, oh man, good stuff.
I got to tell you, I was surprised to hear that you were wowed.
I was. This is delicious.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a daily sipper kind of a delicious.
Mess that up.
But this is absolutely delicious.
This is a special occasion.
This is dessert.
This is a perfect time of a specific time of year type thing.
This makes me want to put some Cool Whip.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
On it.
Or a vanilla cream liqueur or something on the top of it. Like make
scoop of ice cream.
Make shooters out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, over ice cream. Like what do they call that? Where they pour whiskey or bourbon over a scoop of ice cream. It's like a affogato.
Oh yeah.
But with
whiskey.
Whiskey, yeah.
Whiskey. What'd you give it on the nose?
On the nose, dude, I gave it a 4.75.
I gave it 4.5.
4.5? Mm-hmm. We're in the ballpark, you and me. How about the palate?
4.5.
4.5. I gave it a 4.75. See, you whoops, I almost wrote down the wrong number here. So yeah, you told me that it wowed you. I was expecting something. 4.5 is something. I mean, it's half point away from a 5. How about the finish?
4.25.
Okay, all right. I mean, for a dude that told me that the palate and the finish wowed him.
Palate in the nose.
Oh, palate and nose wowed you. Mm-hmm. Well, now see that makes sense. now your numbers are making sense. See, I have it's not a hearing problem as much as it is a listening problem.
Sorry, what?
My grandma used to call it male selective. I love that joke. I fucking love that joke. My grandma used to call that male selective hearing. We only hear what we want to hear. Huh? I love that joke. I really do. I use it a lot. How about bottle presentation? We talked about bottle presentation quite a bit.
I left it at just a 4 even.
So did I. I mean, there's no bag, no fancy topper.
I love all the things about it.
Know that.
But yeah.
4 is still it's a high score. I mean, if you're going from, so just as a reminder, if you're new to the podcast, we go from 0 to 5 on our ratings. Mm-hmm. We do nose, palate, finish, bottle presentation, add all those scores up from 0 to 5, and we divide that by 2, and that's how we come up with our final number. Yep. And so we both came up with a 4 even on the bottle presentation, and I think that's a fair number.
Yeah.
So what did your final score end up being?
8.625. 8 and 5/8.
Okay. Not bad at all. Mine ended up being 9 and 1/8. 9.125.
Right there. Within a half point.
We usually do ballpark right in there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is great for anyone, any pumpkin spice or pumpkin enthusiast. Like and also whiskey enthusiast. You cannot go wrong with this.
And I think technically this would fall into what we would consider a gimmick whiskey.
Yeah.
But it is so freaking good.
Definitely.
There's no gimmick about it. It is a pumpkin pie and whiskey.
So you mentioned the cocktail. Did the cocktail recipe, does it call for, when it said that it called for a bourbon and a puree, did it give a proof on the bourbon?
It did not.
Okay, so I was talking with High Proof Preacher, or trying to anyway, talk to High Proof Preacher about that, because he makes these incredible looking cocktails. Check him out on Instagram, TikTok, however you consume your whiskey content. And so he made this incredible looking cocktail. It's kind of a hybrid between a couple of things. Like, oh no, why would somebody do that?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so he's like, put in 1.5 ounces of bourbon, a 1/4 ounce of this, a few dashes of that. But I said, hey, it might be really helpful if you would throw in like a range or whatever on whatever bourbon of choice that you're going to use, because I mean, you could use like a 80 proof Maker's Mark or 127 proof Booker's.
No.
And I don't think anybody's going to use Booker's as a mixer for a cocktail.
No.
I don't think so. So I'm guessing anything that he's going to use for a cocktail is
unless you're that dude that used a Blanton's and mixed Mountain Dew with it.
I heard it was incredible. I saw the guy reacted. It was incredible. Am I going to do it?
Nope.
No. I don't think so. But I mean, I'm not exactly riding the back of the guy that's riding the horse into Blanton's town. But it's a good whiskey. But whatever. That's Blanton's. We've talked about that before. Fuck. Where was I? Sometimes
proof.
I'm a victim of my own.
I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Sometimes I'm a victim of my own mass distraction. So yeah. So. It would help if we had some kind of a range on the proof. So I'm guessing what he was doing was going from, your basic, lower end proofs of, 80 to 100, 80 to 90, something like that. 100 proof might be a bit much for the average beginner, enthusiast or whatever, somebody trying to get into it. But I mean, if you're mixing a cocktail, you kind of need a higher proof so that bourbon, that whiskey, that spirit can be represented well within that cocktail.
Yeah.
And that's what, for us, for the Savor the Burn cocktails that we do, that's just how we like to do it.
Yep.
Because we want the spirit of choice to have center stage. So I brought that up because this is only 70 proof.
Yeah.
And whatever it is that it makes me wonder if the recipe calls for ounce and a half of whiskey, do we need to use 2 ounces of this or 2 1/4 ounce? Okay, so 2 ounces. Do we need to do
maybe?
Do we need to do ounce and 3/4 of this and like maybe a half ounce of that to bring the proof up? So we're still going to get the 70 proof out of this.
We're still going to get pumpkin pie all day long.
We're still going to get pumpkin pie out of this.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, you've definitely been putting a lot of work into, as far as pre-planning goes, perfecting what it is that you think is going to be best for the Savor the Burn version of the pumpkin pie whiskey sour. So we're going to get to that on another episode. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Savor the Burn podcast. I'm Jonathan. This is Mr. W2, also known as Wizard Fingers. Not just by Miss Katie. Pretty much everybody in Kansas City knows. He's got magic hands, mama. A little heart for you. Spirit Fingers. If you're a fan of pumpkin spice and whiskey, bourbon, whatever, don't sleep on this. Check it out. Get yourself a bottle of it. What was it? August through
November
or whatever, until it sells out. Get yourself a bottle of this from Iron Smoke. Make yourself a note in your electronic calendar.
Pick that glass up.
Whatever you got to do. Don't. That's that damn crust. That's that buttery, light, crispy crust, and it's still got pumpkin. It's still got those baking spices in there, the allspice. That is so good. That is so good. I wish you had smell-o-vision and be like, get you a whiff of that, buddy. Get you some. Get you some. That's so good. Ain't that good? Anyway, that was dumb. So, no matter who you are, what you're drinking, who you're drinking it with, whether you're in Savor the Burn Studios or not, no matter where you are, never forget, keep on burning.